In wrestling history, there's been a ton of celebrity appearances, and it's only right that the Triple Threat Wrestling podcast breaks them down in a top 5 fashion. And then we got MVP in the house. But first, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We drop daily wrestling content. Popping up right here's the WWE Shop QR code. Make sure you click that and you support your boys at the Wrestling Podcast, and you also support the WWE, which is a win-win for everybody. MVP, how are you this week?
Doing all right.
Doing good. So we're going to get right into this top 5 celebrities of all time. I'm going to give you the honor of going first.
Oh, thank you. um, this pick is what have you done for me lately? Because he's doing it right now. Logan Paul.
Oh, yeah. Logan Paul's a good pick.
Yeah. So I guess he started off being a guest of the Miz, and then I read somewhere he was mad that everyone was booing him. He wanted to be a baby face, but they're like, "Hey, come on, you're a bad guy." So he teamed up with the Miz and had a great banger of a match. Granted, I don't know if he's actually being an actual worker now, or if he's they're going move by move beforehand. But his performance, you can't knock his performances; they're all good. He had the title match against Roman that was fantastic.
Oh, yeah,
And
that
then,
was awesome.
yeah, and he went on TikTok while flying off the top rope and crashing through the announce table.
I mean,
Nuts.
yeah. I was going to, real quick on what you just said. I mean, the way that he brings like social media and like
Yeah.
attention to wrestling, he's probably the best celebrity of all time. I mean, like you just said, a TikTok video as he's doing a high risk maneuver.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't beat that kind of attention.
Yeah. Well, regardless on how you and I feel about him, anyone feels about him, um, he's been an addition to the roster, and he's currently holding the U.S. Championship. For how much longer remains to be seen. I mean, could be entering something with LA Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my first pick is Mr. Prime himself, Logan Paul.
In the prime of his career, no pun intended. So okay, number 1 for me. I'm gonna go Iron Mike Tyson. Only because I mean, in that Attitude Era, which was already hot, because you got people like The Rock and Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels, and everyone's in their Attitude Era phase, and you bring in Iron Mike in one of the hottest feuds at the time because it was Shawn and Stone Cold.
Yep.
And just the way they didn't blur the lines were like, yes, he is the most dangerous man on the planet, but Stone Cold is the baddest dude in wrestling. And so when Stone Cold said, like, look, don't get in my way. You may run things somewhere, but this is my ring. And if you got a problem with that and you can't understand me, I got a little bit of sign language. So here's to you. And he flips him off. Oh my, flipping off Iron Mike Tyson, dude. And dude, it was just awesome. And then having him get involved in the match and, you know, just his star power alone just added that extra element of him being an enforcer. And you gotta go Iron Mike. Iron Mike is number 1 on my list.
I'll add that him showing up at WrestleMania, or even on the Raws beforehand, him showing up on WWE TV, I would say arguably was the start of the turn of WWE getting ahead of WCW.
Yeah, I agree. That was the turning point because that was about 1999. And that's when WCW started kind of slacking off. And, I completely agree.
Okay,
so we got to see who your number 2 is.
Number 2 on my list, I'll go with Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a few matches so far, and they've been fantastic. He had a Royal Rumble appearance as well, even like jumping off the top to land on the outside. I mean, this dude is taking it seriously, and you hear it from everybody as well. Like Randy Orton is a big advocate for Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just the fact that he can, bring together like the Puerto Rican audience like he does. It's and then how nuts they were when was it Backlash? Backlash happened there.
Yeah.
They were going nuts. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, the Puerto Rican crowd was a little quiet during that PLE, but when Priest and Bad Bunny main evented, man, the roof blew off that place, and it was awesome. And Bad Bunny, he ain't no slouch in the ring. He actually was doing some nice stuff, and he held a very good main event with Damian Priest, and yeah, it's a great pick.
Freaking Destroyers, Canadian Destroyers. Sheesh.
Yeah, it's awesome. So my number 2, I got to go the Worm, and I ain't talking Scotty Too Hottie. I'm going Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman shows up in the NWO because why wouldn't Dennis Rodman show up in the NWO? And, just being with Hulk Hogan already is great for you. But I mean, dude, in real life, like he was skipping practice during the NBA finals to go record Nitro. Like, dog, like he was a wild man. And, having him and Hogan face like Karl Malone and DDP, like, and especially because Rodman and Karl Malone are going at it in the finals, and they're going at it at Hog Wild, or it was either Hog Wild or whatever it was in the August pay-per-view. But it was awesome. So Dennis Rodman, he's number 2.
Okay. Number 3, I'm going to go with Snoop Dogg.
Snoop D-O-double-G.
Yep. All right. So, first of all, I'd have to say he got his cousin in the door. Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes Moné. Yeah. Well, when she was Sasha, okay, and tearing it up in the WWE. Some good stuff there. He held the gold WWE championship.
Yeah, he did.
And not to mention WrestleMania 39. He saved the show. Shane McMahon, like a batshit out of hell, tears his quad in a spot versus The Miz.
He definitely pulled the Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Just blow your quads out.
He tried going back at it, but he couldn't stand. So they're like, "Oh, what do we do?" Hey, Snoop Dogg hit a people's elbow.
Yeah.
And he knew what to do. He knew what to do. Yeah. And then this year's WrestleMania, he turned the attendance number to 11,420 or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And ended it in 420.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Snoop Dogg, he's
national treasure.
National treasure and WWE Hall of Famer.
He definitely is. Yep. That's a great pick. I was actually going to take Snoop until you took him. But I'm going to go old school. Now, this is for the people watching wrestling in the 70s, or you got to have really good knowledge of wrestling in general. But I'm going Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman and Jerry Lawler. I think that was the first like mainstream like celebrity wrestler conflict, and it brought up so many eyes. I mean, he pile drives Andy Kaufman, Jerry Lawler does, because Andy Kaufman was doing like the intergender championship matches. He's paying women $1,000 to like fight him, and he'd win. So Jerry Lawler pile drives him. He puts a neck brace on to sell it, and they're on the David Letterman show, bringing attention to wrestling, right? And I think that Andy Kaufman, he's also a Hall of Famer. You know, posthumously, right? Because he was already passed away. But Andy Kaufman was really involved in wrestling back then and bringing attention to it. So he's definitely got to be on the list. He's number 3.
Oh, for sure. And everybody thought it was a work.
Yeah.
Yeah, or a shoot. Everyone thought it was a shoot, and that Lawler really hurt this guy, and no, Kaufman was in on it the whole time.
Yeah, he was.
Just he had to perform his ass off to really sell it, and he did.
Yeah. All right, brother. Who's your number
4? David Arquette.
David Arquette.
Ready to rumble. All right. Before we get some bad feedback, whether anyone likes it or not, bottom line is he was WCW champion.
He was.
He held big gold, and his appearances on TV were definitely to sell the movie Ready to Rumble, which was a great movie.
Yeah, if you're a wrestling fan and you haven't seen Ready to Rumble, you missed the boat.
And he introduced the triple stack cage onto Monday Nitro.
He did.
So, and I mean, if you're gonna win the title by spearing the hell out of Eric Bischoff, I mean,
yeah. And keep in mind, he's one of only 23 WCW champions of all time. So he's in a very limited list.
Yeah, lucky counted. Yeah, so love him, hate him, WCW champion. He's on the independent scene right now too. David Arquette. Yeah, I saw him dibble his toe in the independent scene. I guess he didn't like having the reputation. Oh, yeah, the horrible WCW champion. Business is going down the drain, even though it did. But I guess he wanted to redeem himself.
I mean, good for him. It's either for him. It feels like for me, like if they're not making Scream 10, then he's doing something wrestling.
Scream 10. Well, the Scream 10 would be him in the ring.
Yeah. I know what championship he won last summer. Whatever it is. So yeah, so all right, my number 4. I can't talk too much to it because I remember him doing it, but it was never like spots that really popped off to anyone. It just was really cool for me because I really love the show Arrow and the Flash and all that. Stephen Amell came to wrestling and he did very well because I mean he was already training to be the Arrow, so he already was in great shape. He was agile. I think he fought Cody Rhodes, right? He would team with Neville. Stardust, right? And he had a few matches. One was at SummerSlam, that I know for sure. I forgot the other pay-per-view that he was at, but I mean,
well, he was in the All In.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he wrestled the well-known. I forgot on the top of it. He did wrestle though.
Okay. I mean, just based on like, because that show, you know me and my superhero stuff. I should make a whole nother channel on just nerd stuff, but having the Green Arrow in wrestling, I'm pretty sure it brought a lot of comic book readers just to watch those events and bump those numbers up. So yeah, I mean, you got to go Stephen Amell.
Cody did appear on an episode of Arrow as well, so
he did. No, he was on the Flash. Yeah, he was on Arrow. He wasn't the Flash. Edge was on the Flash. So, all right, yeah. So, who are you going to round out your 5 with?
I'm going to round him off with Bob Barker.
Have you had enough? Now you've had enough, bitch.
Yeah, he was one of the Raw general managers, celebrity general managers. and he brought the prices right to Monday Night Raw, which was, and made Chris Jericho look like a clown. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. Rest in peace, Bob Barker.
Yeah,
Is he a Hall of Famer?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. He should be, because that was pretty cool. And
It
I know
was.
that he was on like early WrestleMania. I think like 1 or 2. WrestleMania 1 or 2. He was like a guest announcer for like an interview or something. So I'm gonna round out my 5 with if you don't know who this guy is, then I pity the fool. Mr. T. Again, like just like Andy Kaufman did, Mr. T was already on like the A team, and he had a lot of popularity at that time. And he comes into WrestleMania, the first WrestleMania, and you have Hogan and Mr. T versus Roddy Piper and Paul Orndorff. And it was really cool. It was really cool. And actually, it's WrestleMania 2, I think, not WrestleMania 1, because WrestleMania 1 had Muhammad Ali. WrestleMania 2 had Mr. T. So, but it having those Hollywood stars at that time in WrestleMania, like, later down the road, you had Cyndi Lauper and all that, like, brings a lot of attention. And having that star power that Mr. T had already with I Pity the Fool, he was, what was his name on A Team? He was Clubber Lang.
For Rocky 3.
Yeah. But yeah, no, he was awesome, man. I love Mr. T when he was doing that with Hogan and all that, and you just can't beat it. So I'm going Mr. T.
B.A. Sergeant Bosco.
B.A. Yeah, Clubber Lang. It all blends together. Mr. T is one of those guys that, like, no matter the project he was in, he was the same character. But yeah, no, that's our picks. That's our top 5 celebrities of all time. Drop yours in the comment below. I know that we missed a couple. They just didn't hit our list, but you never know. They might hit someone else's list. So put them in the comments. Make sure, again, you like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you're new to the channel, make sure you do that. We drop daily wrestling content. And Matt, we'll see you in the next one.